Welcome to the fastest daf in town. Today we're going to Masechtas Nedarim daf Mem. We are going to begin on Mem Amud Aleph, about 6 lines from the top. We just were learning about Bikur Cholim. Rabbi Kiva, who saw that by helping this Talmud, who no one else visited, and cleaned his house and swept for him, that he lived. So because of that, he said the statement, Kol Mishin Mavakar Cholim Kilo Shevich Damim, that if you don't visit the sick, it's like murder. If you visit the sick, you're causing them to live. You don't visit them, you're causing them to die. Which is, again, quite harsh. My garma, what does it mean you're causing? Well, what exactly does that mean? If you visit the sick, then you're going to daven for this person's recovery, that they should live. Therefore, if you don't visit the sick, it sounds like what? You're causing this person, you're praying that he should die. If you're not visiting the sick, you don't have the ability to daven for them, because you don't know what's going on in this person's life. And therefore, you can't pray that they should live, and you can't pray that they're going to die, which is an unbelievable statement, says the Ran. Quoting the Gemara in Ksuvas, regarding the Amsa the Rebbe, the Kivan the Chazoi, Amsa the Rebbe, once she saw the Al Kamaz Zimnin Labesa Kisa, we talked about this over there, that many times he would have to keep getting to the bathroom. Vanach tefillin, he would put on his tefillin, he'd take off his tefillin. It was a tremendous pain. Become it stire, Amri he ratzon sheyakayfu hel yoinim es atachtainim, because everyone was mispalel that he should live, and the Shemayim couldn't take him. But she said that let it be that the Elyonim, the Shemayim above, should overpower the tefillos of the Bnei Adam. Kolimer, the Lemos, Rebbe, he should die. This is what it means here. When you visit someone sick, your tefillas help, and feel that they should live. Because this tefillah is going to be very powerful. If you don't visit him, you're certainly not going to pray for him to live. So if the shaykh, like this Amsa the Rebbe, that she would have prayed that he should be able to die, or that the other people's tefillah shouldn't be miskabel, so that he would be able to move on. So if this person is under so much pain and sickness and anguish, there's actually an element of potentially praying that person should not have to suffer. Which is obviously a very tremendous piece. Okay, so Rava Yoima Kadmo, the Cholish, on the first day, the person was sick, Omer would say, Lo tigal inish, do not reveal yourself to people. Delo litra mazole, so it doesn't weaken your mazel, which there's different interpretations. Rashi says the Dilma mitzalna altar, maybe you'll be saved immediately. Minami delo lishtoi mili loy, no one's going to talk about you. In other words, it's possible, if you're answered right away, that may weaken your mazel. Kan v'elach aymer lohoin puku v'achrizu v'shuka. Go and tell everyone about it. The chol detzanili, anyone who hates me, lechadili, they'll be happy. Yuksiv bin al yivchal tismach. The Geimer, the pasuk says, don't rejoice when your enemy falls, and therefore the punishment will be on them. Udarachmimli, those who love me, miboili rachmi, they'll daven for me. Amarav kol mavakar sachayil and nitzel medina shegehenim. If a person visit the sick, you're going to be saved from Gehenna. Shenemer Ashrei Maskil El Dal. Praiseworthy is a person who understands the Dal, this destitute one. B'yom Ra, on the day of bad, Yimaltehu Hashem. Hashem will save him. Ein dal el chayla. This is referring to someone who knows the sick, someone who goes to the sick. Shnemer midala yebatseni. So he said the word dal represents the person who is sick. Inami min hadein kra, from this pasuk, madua ata kachadal, why are you poor? Ben hamelach b'boiker b'boiker b'gomer. And that's specifically referring to a person who is sick. Okay. Ein ra el gehenim, and the word ra means gehenim. Shnemer kopolei Hashem l'maneu, all of the handiwork of Hashem in His honor. V'gam rashul yam ra, and the wicked on the bad day. V'im biker, if you visit him, mascharo, what's your reward? So mascharo kediyar medisa b'din gehenim. We said you're safe from gehenim. That sounds pretty good. El maschar b'olam hazeh. What reward do you get in this world? You get schar mitzvah b'hayam maleka. Hashem yishmerehu, Hashem will safeguard you, v'yichayayu, and you'll live. V'ushar ba'aretz, you'll be wealthy in the land. V'yal titnehu b'nefesh oivav, and it won't be given over to your enemies. So Hashem yishmerehu min yitzhahara, you'll be safe from the yitzhahara. V'yichayahu min yisurin, you'll be safe from pain. V'oshar ba'aretz shihu hakoyel mischabdin lo, people are going to be honored through you. Yal titnehu b'nefesh oivav. What does that mean? She's damnu lo yireim kenamoin sheripoi es sarasa. You're going to encounter friends just like Namoin, in which he also had saras. And Rashi says kugunalisha tahabi navi v'zakin v'hesiu eitzel l'namoin. He gave an eitzel to Namoin that he should be healed. V'al damidu lo yireim, and you won't encounter bad friends k'rechavam, like Rechavam did shechilko es malchusai, that his malchus was split between Rechavam and Yeravam, so therefore you're going to have these blessings. Tanya, if the young ones say B'nai Bil, there's a Canaan Saucer, and the old ones say destroy, Shmuel is a Canaan Bil Tishmol Yoladim. Always listen to the elders, don't listen to the new generation. Shabinyan Yoladim Stira Ostiris Zakanim Binyan, which is a tremendous word. Yeled, they think they're building, they're coming up with these new ideas, all the old ideas are wrong, and you have to do something else. You have to believe in different ways of running the country. You have to, which were proven to have been not working. So they want to build, but the truth is they're destroying. And the people who are the Zakanim, it looks like they're destroying the world, but really they're binyan. And they're really building up the world. The similar davar, Rechavam ben Shlomo. Rechavam, unfortunately, again, was part of this situation, as Rashi says, V'yazav es atzas zakanim v'nechor beis hamikdash al oisa eitza v'amoru l'pirish beis hamikdash v'yigabrayse l'tani behed beis hamikdash. Okay. Amar Rav Shesha b'rei Rav Idi, lo lisaid inish katsira, a person should not literally go to the harvest, but it's referring to go and visit. Says the Ran liyavaker, don't visit the sick. Not in the first 3 hours of the day. There's visiting hours. There's a reason why there's visiting hours. The first 3 hours, don't go. When it's late at night, don't visit them either. So what is the reason for that? So first of all, because we don't want you to distance yourself from asking for mercy. What does that mean? So Kadmaya saw the first 3 hours, Rav Chadaite, he looks healthier. He looks, because he had a good night's sleep, looks like he looks good. So you're like, why do I waste my time visiting this guy? He looks good. You're not going to daven for him, but that's not really the true picture of who he is. And if at the end he's going to look even worse than he really is. And on this, the Ran says, you're going to think that you're going to be Messiahish min arachamim. It's like, why should I even waste my time praying? This guy's dead, as far as I'm concerned. The truth is, it's just because you came at the worst time. Amar Rav and Amar Rav, Minayin shakadosh baruch hu zana sachayla. How Hashem satiates the sick. Nemar Hashem yisadenu al eres davoy. Amar Rav and Amar Rav Minayin shahashchina shruya l'mal mimitasa shachayla. The Shechina is resting, resides above the bed of the chayil. Shnemar Hashem yitzadenu al eres davoy. Tanya hachi hanichnas al vakos hachayil. If you go to visit the sick, yeshiv lo al gabi mita, don't sit on the bed, lo al gabi sas on a bench. V'al gabi kisei, or on a chair. Ela misatev v'yoshev al gabi karka. You should sit on the ground. So again, because the Shekhinah is on the bed. Shneimar Hashem yisadenu al eretz davoy. And we learned on yesterday's daf that really maybe the mitzvah of being Mavakar Chayla is only necessary for to do a midah, to stand but not to sit. Okay. Amarav and Amarav. So now we have a new piece over here. So let's hold off on a second. Let's look at question 11. So it's not good to visit the first 3 hours because he looks really good. You're not going to daven for him. The last 3 hours, he looks really bad. You're not going to visit him. Probably you can also say the very first day you don't visit him. You wait a little bit. Okay. Okay. So now let's see this new piece, which is also Gemara and Shabbos. So it says like this. V'yomer Amarav. Mitra b'marava. When it rains in Eretz Yisrael, Sahada Rabba Pras. That's actually a great testimony to the Euphrates River. Says the Rashi over here, Kishanar Pras Gadol. When the Euphrates is swelling up with a lot of water, Havi Eidos L'Geshamim Shiyardim L'Eretz Yisrael. It shows that the rain must have came to Eretz Yisrael. The Eretz Yisrael Gavoa Mikol Ratzos, because Eretz Yisrael is higher. Uvayin Geshamim Menaifon B'Pras. So the water trickles down and goes into the Euphrates River. So why is that such an important detail to know? So we know, based on what we're saying, that when the waters of Pras, which is in Bavel, swell without water from rain, it's not rainwater, right? So it actually indicates it did rain. It is rainwater from Eretz Yisrael. As a river only expands with this rainwater. That's how it expanded. Therefore, Pras expanded from this water from Eretz Yisrael. So why do we need to understand this? Because when it comes to doing tefillah in a mikveh, it's different than when it comes to going into a natural body of water. A tefillah in a river doesn't purify while it's flowing, as rainwater is only mataher when it stays in one place, not zechila, which isn't good for a mikvah since it's rainwater. So when it comes to a mikvah, we don't allow zoichlin, flowing water. When it comes to this pras, it's possible that we have rainwater. It's the majority of it's rainwater, and if it's flowing, it's zechila, so it's a problem. So when it comes to a regular body of water which doesn't have rainwater, then it's okay. But over here, since there's so much of it is rainwater, which is how a mikvah also becomes a mikvah, is through the rainwater. So if we have more rainwater, there's an issue of zoichlin. It can't be flowing, and therefore this will make an issue that you're not able to go into. You can't go into this into the pras to toivel yourself. So a mikvah again cannot be zoichlin. It has to be steady water, not flowing water. Okay. Upliga de Shmuel. The Amar Shmuel Nahara Mikefe Misbarich. That the Euphrates actually from its source, from below, is how it gets its blessing. In other words, there's always more river water than any rainwater. So therefore the rainwater is only a small part, and therefore you don't have to worry about zoichlin. There's no issue of zoichlin to be toivel into, let's say, a lake, which is flowing, a river that's flowing, it's okay. It's only when it's rainwater, but if it's the original source, even if it's zoichlin is mutter, it's just not by a mikvah. So therefore he holds that the har pras is not a problem, because there's no issue of zechila, because it's not majority meg shomim. Actually, there's a stira on Shmuel to Shmuel. The Yomi Shmuel, Einamai Matar B'Zoichlin. We know that water cannot be matahir while it's flowing, as we continue to Mem Bays. Not the longest Amud, but we'll hold around, which we're not going to see all of them. El Pras B'Yomi Tishrei Bilvad. Only Pras in the month of Tishrei. What does that mean? So now we'll spend a few minutes in the Ran. Lefi top Ran. Lefi She'enu Eis Geshamim. When the month of Tishrei, which is the summer, let's call it September, so it doesn't rain at that time in Bavel. Velozman hafrashas shalogim, and we also don't find snow then. Velol lemeser nami pras, b'chol shana. The truth is, we shouldn't ask the pras ever all year. Ela b'yomi tishrei, only in the month of Tishrei. Asa de kivan de kulach shashim yishim shema yirbu neitfin al zoichlin. We're concerned that there may be more neitfin than zoichlin, than flowing water. He kol she'anu b'kiyim b'fras b'yomi Tishrei kami el yasai. So it's not an issue. So in other words, when it comes to a baki, someone who's an expert and he knows the water level of a body of water, then there's no chash of zoichlin. Because minastam, fine. That's if you're a baki. But minastam, if you don't know any better, we are chayshish. So pras, min hastam, generally speaking, you can use it to toivel. You can purify, and we're not concerned of zechila, since in Tishrei there's no rain. It's not the rainy season. So since there's not too much rain, you could certainly go into the Euphrates River to be toivel, and even if it's flowing, we're not concerned of megashamim. We're not concerned of neitfin of shemi yirbu neitfin al zoichlin. So that's again even minastam by pras. However, when it comes to minastam from pras, but not by other rivers, you need to be a baki to know that this is not rainwater. So pras minastam you can purify in zechila since there's no rain, but the rest of waters, or the rest of the year, I should say, regarding pras, minastam, we are chayish, as it may be too much rain. So only you made Tishrei, he matered it. So how could it be that he said over here that you never have to worry about it because Nahar Bekifi Misbarich, which means all year round. Even if there's a lot of rainwater, there's always more rain which comes from the bottom, more water rather that comes from the bottom up to the rainwater that flows, that comes down. So even if there is a lot of rain on a particular season, it's never going to be more than the water that comes up from the ground. So according to Shmuel, according to the first statement, you should always be able to use it. We're never chayish. However, here it says only in Tishrei it's not an issue. Mashma during the rest of the year we are chayish. That's the stira. Fine. Avodah Shmuel aved l'hain mikvois livnasei b'yomei Nisan. Because of that, Avodah Shmuel did not allow his daughters to go into the pras to be toivel, and he made Nisan where there was more rain. And instead, he made mikvois for them because, again, he was chayish of Noitvin Yisrael Zoichlin. So if we look in the Ran, Shemimnei Shahoya Chayshish L'Hafrashas Shlagim, he was afraid of the snow melting. Loyam Nichin Litbol B'Zoichlin, he was afraid that there's a lot more Zoichlin. Fine. And not only that, however, Mavsi B'Yom Tishrei, he did let them go into the pras to be toivel in the month of Tishrei because it didn't rain so much. Therefore, he wasn't chayish then, and therefore he used to also make mats for them. On this, the Ran explains two pshatim. Benahar hayu noisten tachas kapois raglan, underneath their feet, mishum tit. They'll have a chatzitza. It was all muddy, so he would put mats underneath in order that they shouldn't step on the ground. Inami letznius ba'alma. He built these like barriers, these walls. Hayamenichin litbo benahar. And that's what he did. He put in the river Mishum to be Yomi Tishrei Lekel Mechash was Zoichlin. He wasn't concerned when Neitfin Yisrael Zoichlin. He wasn't concerned about this. Umadi Kaimer B'Yomi Nisan Yad Tishrei Kaimer. And when he said Yemei Nisan, it means from Nisan until Tishrei. The Koshkim Mimosai Geshamim Kach Perusho. Okay, we're actually going to stop there, and let's see a whole bunch of questions. Question 12. Amar Shmuel, Ein hamayim metaharin b'zoichlin, el pras b'yom Tishrei. You can only go during Tishrei where there's not so much rainwater. Madua nakat Shmuel pras, loka tvila b'chol naharos. Why is he only talking about pras? So he says because dumia de pras, it's something which is this is question 12. It's like pras. The kiyaitzibo kamer, any other river like that, she'enu mechazev olam u'muti mayim hamechazavim. So it's only water in which, again, we know that there's not a lot of rain, and therefore that's not an issue. So other bodies of water in which we know there was not a lot of megashamim, then it is allowed for a person to go in there. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to see the next question. Let's see. TA 15. Right? So what's the din? Are you allowed to be toivel there in the rain months? So he says like this. So if you're afraid, so and you can't use a mikvah which has more rainwater, so it's an issue of schila, then mahanidain imutter. So again, it's totally whether you're concerned that there's a lot of rainwater. Oh, the nahar makifim isbarich, or maybe you hold that no, it's not an issue because you know that the water source is mostly coming from the bottom, and therefore it's not considered to be mega shaman, so you have to worry about it. Okay, question TB16. Omer Shmuel, Einamayim metaharin b'zoichlin el pras b'mei tishrei. Madua hisker Shmuel b'milsi pras b'chil aser shar naharas asa. So this is what I wrote. Pras was known in Yemei Tishrei, where there was no mei geshamim, that minastam, it's fine, since it's not rov rainwater. We learned this klal to other rivers, where there is a chiluk in time of the year, if we are chayshish for rov mei geshamim or not. That sounded pretty good. Let's see what we have over here. Question 16. So he says, Liamute naharos hamechazavim below taine asa defil b'mei tishrei ein toivlin bahen ad kan.